Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak English with Confidence, the podcast that helps you become a more fluent, natural, and confident English speaker. I'm Smith.
And I'm Enna. Great to be here with you again. Wherever you're listening from, whether it's on your morning commute, at the gym, or relaxing at home, we're really glad you joined us today.
So, Smith, I'm going to ask you a question that I'm sure a lot of our listeners have asked themselves at some point. What does it actually mean to speak English fluently?
Oh, that's such a great question, Enna. A lot of people think fluency means speaking perfectly. No mistakes, no hesitation, native-level grammar. But honestly, that's not quite right.
Exactly. Fluency is really about communication. It's about being able to express your ideas clearly, naturally, and without too much effort, even if you make the occasional grammar mistake.
And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. We're going to share practical, proven strategies that will help you speak English more fluently in real life, not just on a test.
By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear action plan to take your English to the next level. Let's get into it.
All right, so let's start with something that I think is really, really important, and it has nothing to do with grammar books or vocabulary lists.
Ooh, intriguing. What is it?
It's your mindset. So many learners tell me, Smith, I'll start speaking when my English is better. And I always say, that's like waiting to go swimming until you already know how to swim.
Ha! That's such a perfect way to put it. You learn to swim by getting in the water. You learn to speak by speaking.
Exactly. The fear of making mistakes is the number one thing that holds people back. But here's a secret. Native speakers make mistakes too. All the time. And no one cares.
That's so true. I remember when I was learning to speak in front of large groups. I stumbled over words constantly at first. But with practice, it got easier and easier.
The key mindset shift is this. Think of every conversation, even a short one, as practice, not a performance. You're not on stage, you're just talking. And every time you make a mistake, that's actually a learning opportunity. Your brain remembers errors. That's how it grows. So tip number 1, give yourself permission to be imperfect. Start speaking today, even if you don't feel ready, especially if you don't feel ready.
Okay, moving on to our second big strategy, and this one might surprise you a little. Smith, do you want to introduce it?
Sure. So our second tip is listen more. Not just to study, but actively, deeply listen to real English.
Now, a lot of people focus so much on speaking practice that they forget the other side of the coin. But here's the thing. Fluency comes from input as much as output.
Right. When you listen to natural English, podcasts like this one, TV shows, movies, YouTube videos, audiobooks, your brain is absorbing pronunciation, rhythm, vocabulary, sentence patterns, all without you even trying.
It's called subconscious learning. Your brain is like a sponge. The more high-quality English you put in, the more naturally it flows out.
And there's a specific technique I love called shadowing. You listen to a sentence and then you immediately repeat it, matching the speaker's speed, rhythm, and intonation as closely as possible.
Shadowing is incredibly powerful. It trains your mouth, your ear, and your brain all at the same time. It's like a full workout for your English fluency.
So, practical advice. Find a podcast, a short video clip, or an audiobook chapter that you enjoy. Listen once normally. Then listen again and shadow. Repeat what you hear in real time.
Do this for 10 minutes a day, and you will notice a difference within weeks. Your pronunciation will feel more natural, and sentences will start coming out more easily.
Now, let's talk vocabulary, because this is something that comes up a lot with learners.
Yes, people often think that to speak fluently, you need to know thousands and thousands of words. And while vocabulary is important, it's not quite that simple.
Right. Fluency isn't about knowing rare or complicated words. It's about knowing common words really well, well enough to use them automatically without thinking.
Think about it. Most everyday conversations in English use a surprisingly small set of words. If you know the most common 1,000 to 2,000 words, you can handle about 90% of daily conversations.
So, instead of trying to learn 10 new words every day, focus on making 3 or 4 words part of your active vocabulary, words you can actually use when you speak.
And here's a great technique. Learn words in chunks or phrases, not just alone. For example, instead of learning the word agree, learn the phrase I totally agree with you or I see your point.
These are called collocations, words that naturally go together. Learning phrases like this makes your speech sound much more natural and fluent.
Another trick, after you learn a new phrase, try to use it at least 3 times that day. In a sentence out loud to yourself, in a text message, in a conversation. Repetition builds fluency.
Okay, we've talked about mindset, listening, and vocabulary. Now let's get to the big one, speaking practice. This is where a lot of people get stuck because they think they need a speaking partner to practice. But that's actually not true. There are so many ways to practice speaking, even if you don't have anyone to talk to. Let me share a few of my favorites.
First, talk to yourself. I know it sounds a little funny, but narrating your day in English is incredibly effective. When you're making breakfast, say, I'm making toast. I'm pouring coffee. When you're walking, describe what you see.
This builds the habit of thinking in English, which is one of the biggest steps toward true fluency. When you stop translating from your native language and start thinking directly in English, that's when things really click.
Second tip, use language exchange apps or platforms. Sites like Tandem, HelloTalk, or italki let you connect with native English speakers who want to learn your language. It's a win-win.
These conversations can feel low pressure because both people are learning. You support each other, and you get real live conversation practice.
Third, record yourself speaking. This one feels uncomfortable at first, but it is so valuable. Set a timer for 2 minutes and talk about a topic, your weekend, a movie you watched, your opinion on something.
Then play it back. You'll notice things about your pronunciation, rhythm, and word choices that you can improve. It's like having a mirror for your speaking.
And finally, find a language tutor or conversation coach, even just once or twice a week. Having structured speaking time with feedback can accelerate your progress dramatically.
All right, we've covered the big strategies, but I want to take a moment to talk about some things that can actually slow down your fluency, what I call fluency killers.
Ooh, yes, this is important. What's the first one?
Number 1, over-relying on translation. When you stop and translate every sentence in your head before speaking, it slows you down a lot. The goal is to think and respond directly in English.
Number 2, avoiding speaking opportunities. Some people study English for years, but almost never actually speak it. You have to get out of your comfort zone.
Number 3, only studying grammar rules. Grammar is useful, of course, but you can't build fluency by memorizing rules alone. Your brain needs repetition and real use, not just theory. And number 4, giving up too soon. Fluency takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But if you practice consistently, a little every day, the progress is real and it adds up fast.
Consistency beats intensity every time. 30 minutes a day, every day, is far better than 5 hours once a week.
Okay, we're coming up on time, so let's do a quick recap of everything we covered today.
First, shift your mindset. Stop waiting to be perfect. Start speaking now.
Second, listen actively and practice shadowing. Your ear and your mouth need to work together.
Third, build your spoken vocabulary with phrases and collocations and use new words right away.
Fourth, practice speaking every single day, whether that's talking to yourself, using a language app, recording yourself, or working with a tutor.
And fifth, watch out for fluency killers, translating in your head, avoiding speaking, focusing only on grammar, and giving up too early.
You've got this. Fluency is not a talent. It's a habit. And every episode of this podcast is one more step on your journey.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe so you don't miss our next one. And we'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest challenge when speaking English? Let us know in the comments or send us a message.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and keep speaking with confidence. Bye for now.
See you next time.